Recently, I've been asked by my prospects what my 7 Steps to Sales Mastery course entails, how it will help them grow their home improvement businesses from £200,000-300,000 to multiple millions, and why I'm qualified to help them to take it to that level. Rather than me rinse and repeat myself a million times, I decided to put this video together. Quick description of how it works, who I am, and why it can help you. My name's Paul Broom. I've been in the home improvement space for almost all of my adult life, with a few, I jumped in and out a little bit earlier, but mostly home improvements. If I give you a little bit about me, then you'll know who I am, what I do, and then we can take it from there. Started in direct sales in the home improvement space way back in the 1980s. First thing that I ever did was gas central heating. Funny enough, that's how far we're going back. When people didn't have gas central heating, they were still relying on log coal fires to heat their houses. That was what I started in. A sales coaching session, if you like. I had a week down there with a guy called Kim. Actually, he was brilliant, and he taught me the basics of how to sell. Spent a week down there following them round, shadowing, etc. And then I came back to Bournemouth, and what I had to do was when I came back to Bournemouth, it was right, when you go back, Paul, you've got to go and knock some doors in the afternoon, mornings and afternoons, and you've got to go out and make your sales in the evening. So it's a tough game. That was exactly what I did. I went out in the mornings and I found loads of privately owned chimney pots, avoided the council estates and stuff, privately owned chimney pots, and I just started banging doors. And I was making appointments and going in on the evening, closing them. Well, within something like 2 weeks, I'd closed 10 deals. And the average order back then for a deal was 3,000 quid, or thereabouts, for a full gas central heating system. And my commission rate was 15%, so I was earning £450 for every sale. Well, it got to the point where they just came back to me and said, actually, Paul, you're going to have to stop selling because we can't fit them quick enough. And I went, well, hold on, mate. I'm wound up with spring here, knocking doors, going out, closing the deals. You need to keep up. That was how it started. So I got off to a bit of a flying start. Because I'd listened and applied everything that I'd learned on that course in that week. And a lot of the fundaments of what I teach today came from that, but obviously direct sales has developed on massively, and there's certain things that you would say back then that you can't say anymore. Things have changed, people's attitudes towards what you say and how you say it have changed. There's a lot of development that's taken place over the 43 years. I then moved from, obviously, gas central heating, eventually moved into other products. I did windows, doors, that sort of stuff in my early career. I did bathrooms, and I also did kitchens for a while. Did very well in all of them, just moved along. And then block paving came along, so I formed my own company, and we had a big block paving that we set up, or that I set up, and we were out smashing block paving jobs in when they were really fashionable back in the, say, late 80s, early 90s, something like that. And yeah, and then we did a bit of resin bonding driveways as well, but that turned out to be less successful because the actual product wasn't so brilliant, so we abandoned that fairly quickly. Never ever sell anything that you're not comfortable selling or that you can't stand on. That's one lesson, by the way. Moving forward, let's get this in order. I set up some car showrooms, used car showrooms, and I had a few years in cars, selling used cars. I had 5 car sites over about a 10-year period. So that was good, I was happy with that, did very well. Came back out of cars into the building trade, and I've been in it ever since. That's my history. And I've sold literally, I wouldn't want to hazard a guess, but we're talking definitely tens of millions of pounds worth of home improvement products. So I'm definitely well suited. Over a 43-year period roughly, I'm definitely well suited to help you to grow your business to that 7-figure income that you're looking for. How did I do it? I decided that I had all this knowledge in my head of how to structure a sales process that it was successful, and so it led to a conclusion whereby the prospects were asking me to do the job. So I thought to myself, how do I get this into a course and on paper so everyone else can understand and follow the course? I spent about 4 months toying with it, not toying, but trying to work out, just trying to get it absolutely lovely. So when I look at that course, I said to myself, if I had this when I started out, would that have propelled my business to the next level? And I'm confident that the answer to that is yes. Let's talk you through the course, see if it makes some sense to you. It's held on a platform called School, SKOOL, up here you can see there, School. And within your course, you have a community area. So this is the community area. And in the community area, you can converse with other members of the course. You can put a general conversation out. You can put something here. Hi, had a problem today with overcoming an objection. Client prospect said X, how should I have answered that? And you're going to get support straight from the group and straight from me by just putting that simple question up. You can answer other people's questions. Community areas, hugely important. It's where everybody can get together and express themselves, and everybody within the community is growing their courses in the same way, or their business, in the same way that you're growing yours. So everyone's using the same techniques, everyone's doing the same thing and sharing the same successes. That's community area done and dealt with. Let's go on to the classroom. Simply somewhere to house the modules. Inside the modules, you've got your lessons. These are the modules. Inside your modules, you actually have the individual lessons. And the lessons, first lesson is my journey to success, where I go into a bit more depth over who I am, what I do, how I do it, and what makes me tick and that sort of stuff. Simple video there, introduction video, and that's it. That's my journey to success. Then you've got your 7 steps to making a sale. And the 7 steps to making a sale, again, video with a transcript and your PDF supporting documentation. Your perfect client avatar, I'll touch on it, but I'm not going deep into it. It's about making sure that your shout out, in other words, your advert or whatever you do, however you promote your business or your brand, is going out and it's actually representing exactly what you sell. When I say exactly, I mean exactly. You're calling out to the right person. You're looking for the right person, you're speaking to the right person, in the same way that for you to have arrived on here, there's a good chance that you are the right person to be watching this video. Creating your perfect avatar, making sure that you're talking to the right person, giving out the right message, and so that's all in there. And again, the supporting documentation's there with it as well. Introducing home improvement sales mastery, again, exactly the same thing, a video with supporting documentation. That's module 1 with its various lessons. Module 2, lead generation, how to stop being ghosted, lead generation qualification, free organic lead strategies, paid ad strategies that work in today's market. So there you go, video, supporting documentation. Qualification process, exactly the same thing. This is going to be the same process all the way through. This is the video where I explain the lead qualification process. And there's some supporting documentation and a checklist to make sure you're doing it right. How to stop being ghosted. Again, same thing there with the transcript. Going back to the classroom. There's your lead generation in that module there with your lessons housed within it. Then you've got your appointment framework. I'm not going to go through it in detail because it's exactly the same process, but setting up appointments, building instant rapport, setting clear expectations, closing the deal with confidence, and then your effective post-sale follow-ups. Back to the classroom. That's your appointment framework done. Presenting your offer. We're going to move on to how to present your offer now. Presenting your offer naturally, storytelling with feel, felt, found. Again, I don't know if you know about that, but that's something that is huge within the course and within what I coach people to do. And then asking the right questions, making sure that you draw people out using TED. Explain, describe, TED. Again, that's all within that module there with those lessons there. Moving on, Handling and preempting objections. We all get objections. I prefer to preempt them than to try to handle them. And a lot of my prospects say to me, Paul, my biggest problem is that I don't know how to handle an objection when it comes, particularly a price objection. Well, that's dealt with right in here. Handling and preempting objections. What to do, how to do it, how to speak to them, how to respond, all that stuff's all in here. Handling objections with confidence, preempting objections so they don't come and bite you on the arse further down the road. I prefer to preempt them, in other words, deal with them early, and then I don't get bitten on the arse when I present my price. How to handle, I want to think about it. Obviously you'll get, I want to think about it, how to handle that and overcome that. Why price conditioning is so important that you do it early. A lot of people don't price condition at all. They don't even know what it is. But without proper price conditioning, you can't close the deal. Closing the deal, overcoming objections after using the power of silence. It's a combination of overcoming objections and using the power of silence. Again, I teach you how to use the power of silence, what to do, how to say it, pre-close. And then there's closing the deal with confidence, and the techniques checklist. It's all dealt with within that module. That's that one done. We've now presented the offer. We've done that. We've closed the deal here. Now we're moving on to obtaining resales and referrals. Obviously, once you've installed your project, you've completed your fulfillment, you're going to be looking for referrals straight away, and how to ask for those referrals to make sure that you actually get them. A huge part of your business is referrals. They're free. If you can get word of mouth deals, it's much better than going out and having to pay to find your business. We deal with that exact subject within that module. There's back to your classroom again. Psychology, huge in sales. You need to know the types of people that you're talking to, whether they're analytical, whether they're, the type of person that you're actually dealing with, and you can work that out quite quickly by the questions that you ask them and they respond to. There's also the 5 reasons people don't buy. There are only 5 reasons in the world that people don't buy. I cover them for you in detail so you absolutely understand those. And as you work through your course, as you work through your conversation with your prospect, you're psychologically ticking off those 5 reasons as you go along. But I teach you how to do that with ease. It's not difficult once you understand the concept. And then you got, the sales framework for the 5 reasons people don't buy. That's all in there as well. Where are we going next? Then there's some call recordings of me actually at work. You can actually see some of the stuff that I'm doing at work. You can listen to those. And then finally, I think there's some social media posts. Just some of the stuff that I use to shout out to my audience. Some of the real heavy-duty, hard-hitting TikToks, Facebook posts, Instagram posts and stuff that I put out that are fairly hard-hitting, but they're directed directly at my audience, my perfect avatar, the person that I'm looking to attract. This one's brilliant. The one-liner that obliterates all of your competitors. I've had one with over 200,000 views on it. This one I think could be this one. I closed millions using just this one line. That's it. But yeah, I've got tons of those, but I haven't uploaded them yet. I'm going to gradually upload some more. But that's the course generally. Don't forget, you get your one-on-one coaching session with me once a month, where I do a deep dive into your business and work out exactly what you're doing, how you're doing it, recommend some changes, show you which modules to use to help you to make those changes, and I'll do a deep dive right into your business, get you growing and scaling really quickly. Then I also, on top of that, I do a bi-weekly or twice a week group coaching session, which I'd encourage you to attend if you can. I know you guys are busy, but I'd encourage you to attend, where other people, it's a group coaching, so anybody can ask me a question, we'll deal with the answer, and everyone can gain benefit from that answer. It's surprising just how many people say to me, that group coaching session was amazing. I get messages afterwards saying it was amazing. Didn't really think about that, but the way that you highlighted it and brought it out made it absolutely obvious to me. So I now know how to do that and how to use that, and I make some changes to implement it. All good stuff. So that's basically the course, guys, included in everything that I do there, so pretty much. Yes, we'll be expanding on it. Yes, we'll be adding some more stuff into it, but basically everything that's in this course right now will take you from if you're hitting a plateau or a ceiling of say 200,000-300,000 quid and you want to get that up to £1 million, then this course will absolutely take you there. We're happy to say that. I'm certain that if everything you apply within this course you use, you learn it, apply it, use it, then you would definitely go out there and turn your business into something completely different to what it is today. Great to have you, and I'll see you on another video.